These are some of the reach figures that we have. Asia Pacific, we are actually getting 135.1 million users. Same in Africa. Here I'll take a small detour to tell about my experience in Africa. I was at the IETF conference, which is like a top-notch conference in networking, where people actually standardize protocols such as DNS, HTTP, TCP/IP, and so on and so forth. And I had a very interesting conversation with some people there from Africa. I met a person from Uganda and another person from Kenya, and what they were doing is that they didn't have PCs, just as we didn't have very good phone network, which like the US. So they have moved on from the telephone to the computer. They have skipped those evolutions and directly moved on to mobile. And what they were planning is very, very ambitious that I could not even think of. They were actually planning to do mobile streaming of the World Cup in South Africa. Can you imagine such things happening in Africa? Because we typically think of Africa as a continent that is backward, but that is a continent where the growth has been like really rapid. And then that is one market that we are seeing growth like happen very fast. And just as we have seen the app market explode, I expect that over 2-3 years, we'll see even developing countries will take a lead on this. I have a slide further ahead which talks about this growth in terms of percentage. We come to that when I come to that slide. These are again some of the numbers what are the numbers that we are looking at. And as you can see, the growth has been like tremendous. We are actually looking at 19.2, and there have been reports by Gartner and the various other agencies about how fast this growth would be. And one of the very famous reports that you can actually look on, I would encourage anyone who's interested in mobile should read it, is the report by Mary Meeker, who presented at I forgot the name of the conference about the mobile internet. It's a very huge, kind of very comprehensive report and tells of the various metrics and the dynamics of the market very nicely. You probably should Google and read it. I would encourage you to do that. Again, coming to the Asia Pacific story. As I said, we don't have that baggage which other nations have that holds them back. Like for example, in the US, we have these well-entrenched players which are, it's not a monopoly per se, but there are very few players and they kind of control the market very tightly. To some extent, you have that in India as well. If you look at the 3G auctions and so on and so forth, there are few players who are trying to corner the market. But that is slowly changing and changing faster in Asia than as compared to anywhere else. And the projected growth figures actually bear what I'm saying out, and we have actual figures, projected figures that tell you that how fast this growth has been and will be. The other evolution that has happened is, as I said, as phones became more capable. First we had very basic phones, which I remember we had traditional phones which were very clunky to carry around. But phones themselves are becoming smaller. They can play videos, and as Atul said, not just phones. I mean, other devices they're converging really fast, and from both ends of the market. Phones are becoming more and more capable. At the same time, you see laptops. The form factor is shrinking really fast. A lot of people here, about 2 years back, would not have thought of getting a netbook, but everyone actually uses netbooks, the iPod Touch. And that is also in some sense driving the market, as you can actually serve ads on this platform. There are very, very interesting developments that are happening in this space. Examples could be even there's going to be an impending boom in the ebook market. You have Kindle and you have an Indian organization, Infibeam, that has put out Pi, and then there are going to be more and more people, like the iPad is going to come out. There are more and more mobile devices which are very specific, uses that are going to come out, and you are going to have advertising supported models as well as subscription based models, and that is where the interesting convergences and interesting experiences, the more engaging experiences will happen. And most of it is going to be driven by advertising. Let me talk about some of the case studies that that we have done. This is to dispel the notion that it is very spammy. We did a campaign for Yamaha, and you can see some of the numbers here. The mobile video ads were viewed 10% of the time. Another metric of engagement was the review videos that people watched. So they didn't just stop at watching the video that was linked, but they went on and looked at other review videos as well. So there is, obviously people were interested in how the bike is and what are the different characteristics of the bike, as well as they went and located the stores where they could actually go out and check this bike. Now, this is something that ties into what I talked earlier, that this is actual measurable impact, and advertising today can give you that, which are advertising on mobile and even on PC can give you that, which was not available earlier in display advertising, which is kind of was very popular. This is the same campaign. I talked about the IPL. We did a very similar campaign for Cricket Nirvana when it launched, and what we saw was again there was a very measurable impact. The impact was in terms of incremental page, 72% incremental page views were there, and it was not just by people clicking on that ad and actually looking at the statistics, but also people who looked at the ad and then they got to know that there is a site which I can use, and a lot of them actually became repeat viewers. So you are actually able to reach an audience that you would otherwise would not have been able to reach very effectively using mobile advertisements. So these are some of the key results. This was the example that I gave earlier. This is Bangalore RCB campaign that happened, and Reebok actually was selling jerseys for people to actually support their team. But they were also actually not just doing that, but they were also giving away wallpapers which are typically charged, and ringtones, those kind of things, content downloads related to their team, which is RCB, and you can see again the numbers, again measurable impact. That is what I'm coming back again and again to. And then you can see that 41% downloaded wallpapers, 15% actually located stores, and then there was a contest that happened, and 2% of the people actually who saw the ad actually sent out SMSs related to that contest. So the bottom line is impactful ad do make a difference. There are various ways of doing it. If you know your audience, if you can segment your audience, if you can target ads effectively, it is possible to get very good ROI and measurable impact on ads. If your creatives are like well done, then you actually stand out. And there is a lot of experimentation. When I say stand out, there is a lot of experimentation this mobile advertising enables. I was talking to a friend recently, and one of the optimizations that people do is they have a campaign in which they measure they change the foreground and the background colors and then measure the impact on the CTR. I mean, that is something that you can't probably not do on a hoarding or any other kind of display advertising where you cannot see the impact of the ad actually on the user. So even small things like that, the cost of experimentation actually goes down. I think I'm starting to run out of time, so I'll just go through. So what is it a mobile platform in general actually gives you? It gives you you can build a precise targeting profile depending on your audience, and that is like every marketer's dream, that you want exactly the people who will buy your product to be able to actually look at those statistics, to be targeted, and then you look at those statistics of how efficient your advertising was. That increases the efficiency of the ad serving as well, and then because you can try out different things. The example that I just gave, you can actually measure the impact of the different kind of experiments that you run very well. Also, the insights and analytics that you can get from this platform are also